Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2019. It's my Pro Cyclist Stage Racer. It's episode number 10. In this one, we've got a 200-kilometer, mostly flat, some undulation GP Van Koningslo. Not really catered to myself, but not the best of riders here either. So if the undulation does its trick, maybe I could squeeze out a top 10. Depending on how that pace is looking, we'll probably rejoin late. I wouldn't be surprised at all if I have a teammate role on this one, as it is suited to sprinters. 54 kilometers left. We're in the most undulating part of the race, as we have some definite up, down, but it's pretty flat into the finish. We still have 93 riders in the peloton, so I don't expect much to happen. Now, 6 riders in the break, they still have 2 minutes, and as was expected, my assignment, work at the front. I put in 48 kilometers and nearly 50k. I went well beyond what I needed, so my task is easily done for the day, and now I'm just trying to hang on and enjoy the finish and see what I can do with that finish. I won't have any support, so there's no lead out or anything, so I'll be very lucky to get a top 10, probably more like just squeezing inside a top 20 here. Otema, main guy, he's still looking good. Kroll is looking good. Marsman and DeLange looks like they might not last longer, so we could be down to just a few guys towards the end of this one. If I somehow inherit the team lead, that would be pretty awesome, but I doubt that that is going to happen here. Van Dalen and Bowman's already out the back. Bowman's one of the better sprinters, so he will be missed at the end. Probably would have been the main lead-out guy. Breakaway still away, and they actually still have a minute 40, so really surprising. And actually, I already mentioned I spent about 50k on the front. They only had a 2.5 minute lead at their greatest point, and that was about 65k in. It slowly came back, and yet we've only brought back about 45 seconds on them in close to 100k since then. So poor job by the field chasing them down, as we are now down to just 30k. The biggest climb the rest of the way is something that we are just about to hit. We see some acceleration here from Hatanaka, and that's doing the damage. Marsman, DeLange, they're both struggling, and Peloton, big split there, just 25 riders. It's Otema and I now. Just the two of us remain. 21 riders now. It's getting even smaller, and it's still a minute 14 to the break.
With less than 20 kilometers, the lead is
Only 30 seconds have been pulled back, but that's been in a pretty short period of time. Only 8 or 9 kilometers. There are 29 riders right on the edge of getting back, and it looks like they will make it back on. DeLange and Kroll are both in there. 18k to go. Slip back down the field a little bit.
and he sprints away in attack.
Ooh, there's an attack. 10 riders off the front. Otema's in it. There's the chase. No, the chase will get him. They're not going anywhere.
We've got
I need to
15
make sure I'm near the
kilometers
front, though. One rider left off front. Only 30 seconds, so chances of the breakaway are diminished. That little climb is not enough to get anything. $13k to go. Go times 2 here. Tema just behind me. I'd love to give him a proper lead out, but that is not how this works.
And he spurts away from the group. He's going for victory.
10k to go. One guy attacking again. It's Krieger this time.
Kilometers of the stage.
10k, that's right about 5k to go. starting to get tired. This attack on the flat, I'm only a 64. Resistance isn't very high either. Starting to have its impact.
The stage will be won in a sprint. The pack has just reeled in the escape group.
You want me to pull these guys back? Actually, this is maybe my best chance. Go for the win. Get with those guys. Let's do it. 5K to go. Wow, look how fast that red bar is going down. Oh, that is nothing. Well, good. I mean, not good. Actually, I did get into a break from Mullen and Martian. We're catching the original breakaway man. I'm just hanging on to these guys, and maybe, just maybe, we have 30 seconds over the field at the moment, but pace lifting. Pace is lifting. Now it's a group of 9. 1.3K to go, and there's the peloton. Alright, well, the first break won. Krieger, then Gessel, and de Klerk. 1, 2, 3. Whippert, best of the rest. Vermeulen, Krieger, Fliegen. I'm going to be outside of the top 10, but in the top 20. Old Christian Eiking just ahead of me in 17th. I take 18th place. And highest finisher on the team. Otema only managed 21st. So, hardy har. So this is stage number 1 of a 5-stage race. The Tour Jan van Heeswijk. It appears that I might be getting team leader status as I am wearing the number 1 jersey for my team. It's a prologue to open. It's quite short for this prologue, and I'll be coming up here in a little bit. We've got a heavy headwind on the first half, and then heavy tailwind on the way back to the finish line. It's just a few K out, turn, and come back. And here we go. We're going to attack this pretty hard here initially, as it's just 5 kilometers. It looks like I've got a +1 today, so I'll be a 70 for my prologue, which is not a terribly good rating. So I'm going straight into that wind right now. As soon as we make this turn here in just a moment, we'll be coming back the other way. I am coming out a little too hard, but hopefully that's where the time is to be picked up. The tailwind will hopefully make things a little bit easier down the stretch. We'll be able to travel a little bit faster. We're going 55K per hour right now. And it looks like I'm pushing towards a deficit. This is now going to be a little bit of a crosswind to the finish. Ooh, and a little uphill as well. We had enough energy left to attack it. That's 24th, 15 seconds off the pace. The objective was top 50, so I've managed that. There's only a few riders left to go. Janssen goes 16th fastest. Thomas de Gent for Lotto Soudal goes 18th. And Simon Clark for EF Education first. Looks to be a bit off the pace. Yeah, 54th for him, 24 seconds. I just missed the top 25, by the way. 26th place. Yves Lampart, who was the favorite, only manages to go 23rd fastest, 13 seconds down. So Johan Leban is going to be on top of this one. Chris Hamilton, 5 seconds down. So what a time by Johan Leban there for Vital Concept to go into the leader's jersey. Simon Geschke, Michael Schar, both good times for them to be in the top 5. Dakunig Quick Step should be really disappointed, as they had, I think, 3 of the top 4 favorites, and they only get 2 guys just inside the top 10. Now this is a race that shouldn't suit me. Stage 2, sprint stage. Stage 3 is supposed to be a cobbled sprint stage. Pick up 16 points for going 28th fastest. That's very good evaluation. Stage 4 is a little bit of a hills stage. Should be a smaller group finish, maybe 30 riders. Again, I'm better at mountains than hills, but only slightly. And then stage 5 is supposed to be another sprint cobbled stage. Now, those two stages, 3 and 5, at least looking at the profile, they don't look bad at all. So maybe, just maybe, I can improve upon my position and do all right. In terms of the team, I'm 50 places higher than anybody else. So hopefully I will be given leadership here, and we can see what we can do. See if I can't finish a bit higher up the standings and maybe squeeze into the top 10. Stick around long enough to see what the status will be here at the beginning of the stage. If they leave me as a leader outsider, I would be happy with that. Hodeg, by far the strong sprinter here. Should be dominant. Be an easy win for him, and if he's that dominant, he could be a favorite for the overall if he can get by stage 4 without getting dropped. There you go. Okay, good. Leader outsider. Oof, top 10. And everybody else, Barrador. No teammates. Not one. Of course, they can't all go into the breaks, so ultimately I will get some of them. But we've got a long, flat road to go. Apparently this is a Category 2 climb? No. No.
The pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
I live on a hill bigger than that. Much bigger than that. I wouldn't classify it more than a Cat 4. Oh, we're already past it. I didn't even see a hill. Alright, well hey, I'm going to go forward towards the end of the stage here as, this stage. Sprint stage. I'll just cruise. 35k to go, and we go at full speed. Oh, not quite full speed, times 4 speed. Just in case something happens, just in case there's some action. The breakaway is down to just a single rider. They've got 30 seconds. And we're starting to see some splits, crosswinds. There's that action I was talking about. It is coming back together as we're looping around. It does look like we are in the finishing stretch now. Just looping through this town again and again. We're going to loop through at least one more time here. And then the finish will be right there as well. So it looks like this is the final 2 laps. And those splits could become permanent. It's getting pretty stretched out here. There's another split. Oh, whoa, whoa. Hello, hello. The 3k to go. Alright, I'm going to start sliding forward 1.9k. I've got Decker to protect me for now. That's done. And now we're into position here. I've got a great position for this finish to possibly get a top 10. And Hodeg, yeah, heavy favorite. He wins by 5 bike lengths. Janssen takes second. There's Rusin, Asgreen. I finish out the top 10. Nice. It's actually a pretty decent finish. Top 10, considering I have a 56 sprint. Just that little incline at the finish, but if it was that little bit further, if it was at the crest right up here, or even just the crosswalk, I would have made it a bigger impact, but it was just the final, like 30 meters or so, where you got that little incline at the end.
the race highlights that we've selected for you.
Okay, well, there were definitely some splits. Let's see if that moved us up the order a little bit and see where these splits are at. 54. Ooh, okay. 54 riders. Moves me up a little bit into the top 25. That's an important step. Of course, I need to eventually get into the top 10. Might be a little bit of a tall order. Bad eval for not being in the top 10 already. I was hoping that this year there would be an adjustment to how that works and that it would take into account stage by stage when you should be doing that. Like it should analyze the profile. When should a rider of your style make their way into that position? If they think you should be top 10 overall, well, there's a reason for that. They're basing it off of something. They're going to see when that something should take place. Prior to that, it should be stay out of trouble. Finish in the group. That sort of thing. And so then you're just meeting those demands. Whatever, though. Whatever. Alright, so this is what I was talking about. So they say it's a cobbled stage. They say that there's like 200k of cobbles. I don't see 200k of cobbles. I don't see any cobbles. Oh, my mariners. The word following their name has been lose a lot lately. It's a baseball team, by the way. They've been having a rough season. They blew up the roster last season going into this season. It's a rebuilding year. Alright, so for this one we have some quality riders. Hodeg, Lampart, Asgreen, all there. De Boist, Janssen, Timo Rosen, Dan McClay's here. Some definite big names in the sport that I'm already going head-to-head with here early in my rookie campaign. That part's pretty impressive. But again, from the profile here, it shows no sign of cobbles.
Several cobbled sections. The bikes will be severely tested.
We'll see if the profile got that wrong. Finished top 10. Leader. Not even leader, outsider anymore. And let's see, is there anywhere? No, I just see a little bit of undulation. It does not show any cobbled sections at all. Anywhere in the stage. Let's see if we actually see it out on course. Maybe, just maybe, we're going to go and stick with it, just in case. This could be a big stage. Breakaway group trying to get established. Back art in it. 4 riders. And there's more trying to go. Nope. Just those 4. They've got a couple minutes now. That should be it. No sign of any cobbles yet. So we'll just times 8 our way through this. Those climbs are very insignificant for me. In fact, it's better to have those climbs than it is to be on the flat the whole time, as I'm lousy on the flat. +1 on the race day condition. That nice high level of fitness at 97%, making all the difference for that race day condition bonus.
The pack is reducing the advantage with every turn of the pedal. Aha! He's trying to give his pals the slip.
Breakaway group attacking for the points classification. Mountain Climbers jersey. And they're going to be doing that again here shortly. For now, we are just cruising Still no sign of cobbles. Interesting profile, though, of the course layout through here. You see that little bit of undulation, that up-down roll through the pastures. Another attack. Breakaway 4 minutes ahead.
There are a couple of riders who want to go it alone.
Caught in now on 19 points. Bug turret 13. Ooh, that is a steep little climb right there. Out my effort a little bit just in case. Make sure I don't suddenly get dropped.
Their front group is disorganized, and some riders are exploiting this opportunity to attack. Fall in the pack. Apparently, the leader is on the ground.
Interesting profile through here with the up down undulation. Through a town like this. Love seeing it from this angle. It's still early in the stage though, so the pace really isn't there. I have not seen any cobbles as we are at about 50% of the way through. Just enjoying the scenery, really. Big bunch suddenly a backup in the field, but oh, no, there was a fall. Looks like just 2 guys caught up in it though, everybody else avoiding it. I myself avoiding it as well. Looked like it was a close call there. Another little climb, one of the biggest of the day. We just went through there. And while some of my teammates are struggling on those climbs, so far I've had a very, very easy time getting up and down those climbs. And the number left is getting pretty minimal. There actually have been some riders getting dropped here, but they are remaking contact, and really just a handful off the back. So at this point, today not living up to the expectation. Another attack in the break leads to that awkward sudden slowdown and almost reversal appearance of the game. Go over the top of that Cat 4. 2 Cat 3s remain, and that's it for the climbing for the day. I'm almost encouraged by the fact that you look up and down my team, and other than Delang, they are all struggling. That means plenty of riders in the field must be struggling as well. I'd love to see some splits here. See 20, 30, 40 riders get to the end only. Pace is certainly picking up, and speaking of, I better speed up for my 77. As we get closer to the end, 55k left to go. Somebody needs to go get some water. Delang's kind of the last strong guy here. Delang, fetch some water if you would, please. Oh, it said cobble. Aha! Cobbles.
Try to use the verge to avoid the cobbles, but it's at the risk of getting a flat tire.
Poor Delang, though. Bad timing for him.
Only a few riders are capable of following the very fast pace up front.
Okay, we're seeing some temporary splits. We'll make sure this all gets back together here. Still a group there at the front. Hodeg is in it. Those are the favorites. Decker pulling to bring us back up to that group. There we go. 15 riders. This is now the peloton. And there's just the 4 riders off the front. Let's get back to that awesome view we've been watching. Chase, 37 riders. They're just about on us. So that'll take us to about 40. Decker, +5. Nice. I'd love for him to give me a lead out to the finish. I've got control of him, actually. So why don't we switch him to protect, and we'll try to get whatever high placement we can get. Looks like about 50 riders will contest this one, though at the moment the back end is yo-yoing, so they are struggling. I mean, you look at Decker, he is struggling. The whole rest of my team is finished and off the back. Never did get that water, though. Somehow Decker got water. And it's still 30k to go. Decker, you're going to go get some water, please. To the back. Water, good. Back up, back up, back up. Come on, come on. Don't run out of energy. Don't run out of energy. Thank you. All right, 24k to go. 3 riders left off the front. Their lead shrinking. We're inside a minute. 49 riders in the peloton. It is shrinking a little bit more, but it's pretty flat the rest of the way. So we had one cobbled section, and that was that. That was it. That was all there was. That's all she wrote. One little climb with a cobbled section, and I got through it just fine. So I'm looking really strong to the finish as we head into the final 10 kilometers, and we are already in town. This is our finishing track. And it's 4K. 4K to go.
It's a shame, but he's not going any further.
Decker sadly just ran out of energy, so I'm not going to get a lead out from him. He is keeping me protected here to the end. Three riders still off the front.
There we go. The sprint is on.
Actually, it's 3 riders going. Lampart, Hodig. Alright, sprint, sprint, sprint. This is a little bit far out, but I'm probably going to still manage to get a top 10 out of energy just before the finish line. So, Hodig takes second behind, and with Lampart in third, Jules takes the win. Rusin, Laban, Geshka, Springer, Shar. I get 10th place again. And we end up with a pretty small peloton, but we'll see if they actually give any sort of splits or not. That's a big gap. It's already 2 minutes. They better give that. Those guys were 2 minutes down, and they were a minute behind the group in front of them. I wouldn't be surprised if all of those inside of that 2-minute mark were all on the same time, but we'll see. It's the next stage that really should shake up the standings, as it is a hill stage. And I could and should be in that final 10 or so. We'll see if this shakes up the standings any more. There it is. There's the time splits. There's the 2-minute group. And Bugter in front of them at 1:36. Everybody else on the same time. So Decker gets same time. There was little splits in there, but nothing big. But that's definitely going to shake it up. There's only 30 riders. That moves me all the way up to 12th place now. Into 12th. Hodig in the lead. Johan Laban in second. Simon Geshka in third. There's Asgreen and Shar. Those are going to be 2 of the favorites. Lampart, Evenipol, DeGent, Rusin. Those guys are going to be hard to beat. It's going to be tough to get into the top 10. I'm in a good spot now for that. And really, we're looking... Decker's going to be working for me. So we're looking at 21 riders left in some sort of contention. And of those... Can I rule anybody out? Sprinter for Jules. I don't have much of a profile on very many guys. Time trial for Janssens, but I don't know what he's going to do otherwise. Laban looks like a sprinter. Hodeg definitely is a sprinter, and no, he's a terrible climber. So, you can rule out 2 or 3 of these guys. So I'm definitely on my way to the top 25, but top 10, not sure. 2 spots outside of the top 10 now. It's still seen as poor. Poor me. Here we go. It's this next stage. Where I finish here will ultimately decide. The last stage has 4 or 5 cobbled sections, but they're really short sections. So, and they're pretty much on the flat. So I should get protected well enough to get through there just fine. But we'll see. We'll see. There's still work to do, and this next stage, for the most part, should decide this race. We won't go straight from the start, but those 4 categorized climbs at the end, plus the bit of an incline to the finish, will ultimately decide this one. Depending on the pace, we might come back before this section as well, but halfway at the earliest. 90 kilometers to go. We are at that halfway point, and there was a serious acceleration just at the base of this climb. So the field decided it was time to turn it on, and with the amount of climbing left to do, things are getting dangerous. 8 riders off front. They only have 2 minutes, so it's very much looking like the winner will come from the field. And you can see this is relatively serious climbing. I mean, we're 4.5–5% here just through this area, so that was definitely a flatter section as opposed to what we had just gone up. So it's not going to be an easy day, and those climbs towards the end going to have an effect for sure. I've got my team all up front. I've got them working together today, trying to protect some riders to last a bit longer in the field. So we're going to go ×4 for a little bit. It looks like it's starting to settle back down for now, so the pace that did begin to pick up eased off a little bit, but the guys really aren't recovering as of right now. As we're hitting 70k to go, I'm going to need to send Van Bockel back for water one more time here in just a moment. Now we're close enough. Go ahead and send him back. Still 108 riders. There are 9 off the back already. It looks like 3 more just dropped. Van Bockel already has his water. He's on his way back up. Go ×2 here, as we are starting to get into some more punchy stuff, and actually something really punchy coming up here just a little bit. Van Bockel is not there yet. Van Bockel, we're going to hit this steep climb right here, and he's out of energy, and he got water to 3 of us, or it still needs to get water to 3 of us. He didn't get water to the rest. 4 riders, actually. Slow down here. There's Van Bockel. Vidalin is the only one left. There you go. Okay, he did it. He did it. Alright, here we go. Moment of truth. 51k to go. We have 4 climbs plus the finishing climb still. Finishing climb is not too bad, but it's certainly an opportunity. It's not a sprint by any means. Not like the other 4, but it'll do some damage, and Peloton is shrinking with just 96 riders. The lead 7 still have 2 minutes though, so that'll be a factor. Bootsveld and I, the only ones looking good right now. delaying as well. So those are my other two protected guys, and that's why I'm intentionally protecting them. I still only have partial profile on a lot of my teammates, as I'm still learning about them as the season goes on. And again, that's a great new feature. I didn't think it was going to matter so much, especially about your own team. Oh, but it does. The moment you become leader and you're trying to decide who's going to protect who, for how long, when, why, it becomes a big deal. We just hit the first of those climbs, so 3 more plus the finish. Next one, a little bit steeper. Each one gets progressively worse. We hit the same climb twice there towards the end, other than the finishing climb. Still 96 riders. I'm not looking to go out and take this thing, win this thing. I'm up against the World Tour guys, so I'm ultimately looking for survival. So Marsman, he's about to fade. Actually, he's already fading. Marsman just got dropped. So Van Boekel take up the reins with delaying there.
The pack is putting the squeeze on the breakaway. The pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway. The riders are going through a very tough portion with percentages.
There you go, we're holding up just fine. Peloton's still 95 riders. Just 5 left on the front, and 30 seconds have been pulled away from their lead. I could see a split coming soon. I think we're getting awfully close to that moment where there's going to be a significant split in the field.
Oh, the list of those left behind goes on rising.
All right, now field really changing. Delaying, and this is why I saved him. Look at that. Now I've got delaying here. Bootsveld still being protected, but Decker is fading, and might not have seen this, but we've got a split. Just 19 riders left in the peloton. Decker's one of them. He's the last. There you go. Now it's 18. 18 riders in the peloton, and back up to 88. Quick Step is trying to stretch things, but it didn't work. We're starting to see that battle for position here as Decker and Van Boekel both back in touch as that gap was closed. But the real climb, the serious climb, is coming up here in just a moment, so it's going to be a good opportunity to kind of push things. And there's that foreseeable split again in the low 20s. That's what I need, too. That's what's going to get me into the top 10. Seeing an acceleration here. I just lost control of my teammates. We're seeing some heavy pace here at the moment. And we're in the mid-50s. There's that little climb. Okay, I'm in a good spot. I don't want to attack here. It's not my objective. Fliegen, De Wolf. Though that last time, might consider it. Small group finish, right? Looking at about 38 riders now. Delang Bootsveld hanging on. 1 rider left off the front, all alone. 14 riders now. Now we're looking at a top 10. Oh, poor Bootsveld. Puncture for Bootsveld here. 19 riders. Still chasing 1, by the way. We are still chasing 1 rider. Michael Storer off the front. Little downhill section coming here. Oh, look how much I'm struggling. All of a sudden the pace in this group is crazy, crazy hot. I will not attack that final climb. These guys are too strong. They will attack. I'll probably miss the first group, but Fliegen already attacking now. Or not. Bluffing. Okay, I'm going to use my gel for this climb, not the final climb. I need to make sure I do not get dropped here. I'm gonna just sit 99 and see how we do here. Here it comes.
There are just 15 kilometers left. This climb features some dreadful percentages.
Comes the acceleration from de Klerk. Ooh. Okay, I'm the one attacking now. Don't want to attack. Just trying to get in the right position. I should be over the top just fine. Ooh, I'm off the front at the moment. There's Store. Come on, catch him, catch him. There you go. Catch a ride from Store.
The pace is so high that a few riders
Okay, now it's 13 riders, and Store is exhausted. So this is definitely putting me into that possible... Oh, back to 21. It's back together. I wasn't trying to ride off the front. I was just trying to stay near the front. But here come the attacks. Got enough. Thomas DeGant, of course. Of course, he's likely to attack in this situation. Casper Asgreen trying to attack as well. 20 riders.
I think I saw a few riders on the ground.
Chasing one. Just over 9K to go. Gaps are opening behind us. So this should be it. I don't think those 5 guys are going to make it back to us. They were 30 seconds behind a little bit ago. Now it's a minute. 6K. Uphill to the finish. I've recovered. So I can contest this. Lampart's been caught. Laban is still here? How is he still here? This rain is creating some awkward lag this stage. 4 riders off the front. I'm in a group of 17 giving chase. Now it's 15. 6 have been dropped. 1.4K to the end. There's the end. But I've got barely anything left. But here you go. I'm in the top 9. I'm in the top 9. I should get the same time as them. Casper Asgreen for the win. Simon Geschke, Flegan, Thomas DeGant, Simon Clark are your top 5. I'll hang on to 9th place. Hodig, wow, he hung on as well. Real surprised about those guys. Shouldn't see time gaps here, but it's certainly possible that there will be tiny time gaps. But now we are talking over a minute at this point to this next group right here. 5 riders. See if they get same time or are separated. Another 4 riders just behind them. And now big gaps, 150, yeah, over 2 minutes. Singles coming in. Those guys will definitely be on a different time. We'll see if that first 15 riders or so, 18 riders or so, if they're given same time or if time gaps will be given. I would not be opposed to myself having a time gap to 9th place. As long as the others all have time gaps as well. If I have a time gap and they don't behind me, then I'd be really mad. That's my finish right there. Caught in between Hodeg with the sprint, kind of closing the gap. A little bit of a gap to that group. We'll see. Please don't crash. Whatever lag you were having. Hopefully it's just sorting that out right now. There we go. Ooh, okay. So it gave a time gap to me. Gave the guys behind me the same time, but it did at least split the group behind that. I'll accept that. Yeah, these guys should have been, 28, 29 seconds down. 30 seconds down. All grouped together. Ultimately, that's the only split it seems to have missed, is the one directly behind me. I was in this group in the sprint. They just rode a handful of meters away from me. That's only puts me in 12th. Come on. Asper adds green, assigning Gesha. So I stay in the same place. That's really surprising. That is really surprising that I only managed to be in the same spot. And you see the gaps behind me are opened quite a bit. Well, that was very unfortunate. Still not a bad result. I get top 10. They still have me 12th. I don't see how I should have been a top 3 on that stage. I wasn't in the favorites at all. And they wanted me in the breakaway. So this was a bad stage, according to the boss. It's not what he wanted. I think it's all I could have hoped for. I think that stage went as well as it could have possibly gone. There's one stage left. It's a sprint stage, so we can expect the final results to be what they are. I'm not going to show that, as there's not time left to get that way. Actually, there are a few cobbled sections, so maybe we'll open up with that at the beginning of the next episode. But that is going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my Road to the Record.